Jai Gurudev. So now what we will do is, before we begin, let's go through the few instructions that I had given you. Everybody has the correct book. This is the book. Does everybody have this book? Yes, this is the correct book. It's called the Supreme Yoga, and how it is structured is, on the top you will see 1st of January, and you will see the shloka, and then you will see the text. If you have that, then that is correct. Yeah. Good. So now, few rules. We will just read 1 page per day. Yes. Did you read the foreword and the introduction? I had asked you to read it. Yes. In that very clearly it says, right, that you must read only 1 page per day. Yes. Those who have sincerely read it would know this, that even there it is prescribed that to just 1 page per day. Why? Why 1 page per day?
Because it's a calendar.
Yes.
Day.
Okay.
And it is too hard to do more.
That's true. Those who have picked this up before have experienced it. You cannot really do too many at a time. Yeah. And even if you go ahead, try to read this like a novel, by the time you are on page 8, you have completely lost the link what happened on page 2, page 3. Have you noticed that? Yeah. So do not treat this as a novel. If you read my email carefully, I did not call this a book. What did I call this? I called it a scripture. Yeah. So we will read only 1 page per day. I will give you homework. Yeah. And see that you do only 1 page per day. If I've given you, suppose we have 10 days gap between the next session, I'll give you exactly 10 pages to read. See that you read 1 page per day. Don't go and read all the 10 in one day and say, okay, then next 9 days I'm going to enjoy. No, just 1 page per day. Do it in the evening, when all your work is done. Because it is a study, it's not reading. Yeah, it's not a novel. And today I am actually going to treat you like kindergarten kids. And you are actually going to make notes exactly the way I instruct you. Yes? Even though I'm on Google Hangout, I have a big stick. Yeah? Okay. So now, let's start with the prayer. Everybody wrote down the prayer? Good. Okay. So, once we will read the prayer. So, let's open the page where you have the prayer. Yes? That's the page with the prayer. Let's all open that page. Yata sarvani bhutani pratibhanti stitani cha yatraiva pashamam yanti tasmai satyatmane namaha Jnana tathaniyam drashta darshana drishyabhuhu कर्ता हेतु क्रिया यस्मात्
कर्ता हेतु क्रिया यस्मात्
तस्मै ज्ञाप्त्यात्मने नमः
तस्मै ज्ञाप्त्यात्मने नमः
स्फुरन्ति शीकरा यस्मात्
स्फुरन्ति शीकरा यस्मात्
आनन्दः साम्बरे वनौ
आनन्दसाम्बरे वनौ
सर्वेषां जीवनां तस्मै
सर्वेषां जीवनां तस्मै
ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः
ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
What does it mean? Yeah, this time I don't need to translate any shlokas for you also. All the meanings are there in this book. Yeah, it says all the elements that have manifested, that have existed, and that have dissolved into that which they have, from which they have manifested, from which they, into which they dissolve, to that Brahman I salute, I bow down. Yeah, that's the first line. This is very similar to what you did on Ashtavakra. Do you remember? What does Ashtavakra say? Ashtavakra said this, na? Udhyanti, khelanti, pravishanti. Remember? Yes, in this Brahman consciousness, everything has come up. Everything plays here and everything dissolves. It's the same thing that he is saying here. All the bhutani, what is bhutani? Elements. Yeah? All the elements, everything that has come up, yeah, is just the 5 elements. Na? Pancha Mahabhuta they are called. Yes? All these elements just come up, they stay and then they go back. And from what do they come up? In what do they stay and into what do they go back?
Consciousness.
Yes, the consciousness. Yes, the Brahman. So salutations to that Brahman. That is the first line. Second line, what is Jnata?
Knower.
Yes, Jnata is knower. Yeah. Then Jnanam, knowledge. Yeah. And Neyam, the object of knowing. Yeah. Whatever you are knowing, that which is known. Yeah, the object. Then what is Drishta? The seer, the one who is seen. Yeah. Darshana, the sight. Yeah. And Drishyabhuhu is the object again. What is seen. Yeah. Similarly, Karta is the doer, the one who is doing the action. Hetu is the act of doing it. Yeah. And Kriya is the object, what you are doing. Yes. To all these, the doer, the seer, and the knower, all these have come up in that ocean of consciousness. I bow down to that. Sphuranti. Sphuranti literally means spraying. Yeah. Sphuranti shikara. It's a shower. Yasman. Anandasya. Anand is joy, happiness. Yeah. The spray of happiness comes from that. Yeah, that ocean of bliss. Sarvesham jivanam. All the beings. Tasmai Brahma Nand Atmane. To that consciousness from which all the beings have come up, I bow down to that. That's the meaning of the prayer. So every time before you begin any one page, you are supposed to read only one page. You first just say the prayer. If you have a problem with the Sanskrit, you can just read the English and then read your one page. So let's go to the first page, January 1.
There's a question from Manoj. How is Yoga Vasistha different from Gita?
Yoga Vasistha is very different from Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, we did Bhagavad Gita just last weekend. Yeah, you tell me. Bhagavad Gita happened where? The battlefield. Yeah? It was in a battlefield. Yeah, look at the state of mind. For him, what was the choice? To fight or not to fight? Yeah. Arjuna is in Vishad. What was Vishad? We learned last week. What is Vishad? Yeah, regret or sadness. Yeah, being depressed about something. You're stuck to something in this world. Yeah, either you want it or don't want it. You are stuck. Yeah, and when you are stuck, that emotion, yeah, is called Vishad. You cannot literally translate it into English, but understand that. Yeah. Now, a similar thing happens to Rama. Yeah, this is the journey of Lord Rama. He was a little kid when he started, okay? Not like Arjuna. This is a teenager Rama, you can see. In those days, they used to go to the Gurukul. Yeah, he just returns from the Gurukul. Yeah, and then he starts this. I don't want to give out the entire story if you don't know it, but you will read and you will see Rama is also in a similar Vishad that Arjuna was in. Yeah, you will see the same thing, but there's a difference. Yeah, there's a big difference. What Rama is talking about and what Arjuna is talking about. There lies the beauty of Yoga Vasistha. It's a level higher. Arjuna's questions are more about my people. He's attached. Mine. How can I fight with my kith and kin? How can I fight with my pitama, my grandfather? Yeah, my brothers. He's stuck in mindness. And here, Rama's questions are one step higher. Yeah, you will see Rama says, why? What is the purpose of this life? Yeah, he's also in Vishad. But it's a different level where there is no mindness. In fact, Rama wants to drop everything. All that is mine and go away. Yeah. So that is the difference between Bhagavad Gita and Yoga Vasistha. I don't want to give out the complete story to you. It's going to unfold in a few days as we go. The first sutra. Yeah, we'll read the first sutra. Ubhabhyam eva pakshabhyam yatha ke pakshina gatihi. Yeah. Ubhabhyam means two wings. Pakshabhyam is a pakshi. Yeah. A bird. Yatha ke pakshina gati. What is gati? Speed. Yeah. So, two wings give a bird its speed, which means birds can fly because of two wings. Two wings are required. Is one wing enough? No, no. We need two wings. Yeah, they need two wings to be able to fly. Just like that, here, what are the two important pillars? Knowledge and
Work and knowledge.
yeah. So what is work? What is he saying here? Action. Yeah? Or karma.
Self-effort.
Yes. Yeah. So two pillars are what? Knowledge also and action also. Now, do you remember the two pillars of Patanjali? What were they?
Obvious.
And Abhyasa and Vairagya. Yeah? What is Vairagya?
Dispassion.
Dispassion. And what is Abhyasa?
Practice.
Okay. So do you understand? What is practice? Practice equals action or work. Abhyasa equals knowledge. Are you getting it? See, the two pillars of Patanjali, how the same two Vasistha is going to talk about. They are the two wings of the bird, yeah, with which you can fly. So he's saying both are required. Why? To go to the supreme goal of liberation. Tathai eva jnana karmabhyam. Just like two wings, jnana and karma both jayate paramam padam, take you to the highest or the supreme goal, yeah, or the supreme level. Yeah. So now you understand the bold letters in English, the sentence which is in bold, that equals the sutra which is on top of the page. Yes, every page has that. So I do not need to translate the sutras for you. Now you know that every sutra has its translation somewhere in the page. Yes, everybody got that? Very important point. Okay. Now how you will study this? You are actually going to make notes. Where are your notebooks? Show me your notebooks. Did you write the sutra on the first page? I told you to write the sutra on the first page. Yeah? Under the sutra, you are going to write the story. Or here it is a story, but once it goes, in the next 5, 6, 7 pages, it becomes very deep knowledge. Yeah, and if you don't write it down, it will not register. And if it will not register, when you go ahead just reading like a novel, you will have forgotten what you read before. And you will not be able to connect the dots. Yeah, and then you'll completely lose the link and you lose the interest. Okay, so let's see how we are going to study this. You remember the story? Sutikshna the sage is asking Agastya the sage. What is he asking? What is better, karma or jnana? Karma is work there, yeah, and jnana is knowledge. So what is better? This is how you will make your notes. Draw flow diagrams or bullet points, whatever is easy. But for one page you will write, in your notebook you will make a flow chart on the first page. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah? So Sutikshna asks Agastya, what is karma? What is better, karma or jnana? What does Agastya say? I will tell you the story of Karunya. Karunya asked the same question to Agniveshya. Agniveshya was who of Karunya?
His son.
Yes. So, Agniveshya was the father. The son is asking the father. Karunya is the son. Yeah? So, he asks him, what is better? Should I follow the instructions in the scriptures? What is the meaning of instructions in the scriptures? Yeah. Jnana. And not doing anything. So what was his question? Between jnana and non-doing. Non-doing is also an action, right? You remember we've discussed this when we did Ashtavakra? Yeah? Not doing is also a form of doing only. Yeah? So again his question is the same. So now he says, now I will tell you the story of Arishtanemi. And how does he begin? There was an angel Suruchi and she saw Indra's messenger flying and she asked him, where are you going? So what does Indra's messenger reply? I'm taking Indra's message to Arishtanemi. Yeah? Why? Indra has asked Arishtanemi to come to heaven. But Arishtanemi says, what is the point of going to heaven? How is it different from this mortal world? And he says that anybody who goes to heaven for some time, according to their karma, they enjoy their, whatever their good deeds, and then they have to come back to this mortal world. So Arishtanemi said, oh, then I'm not interested. Yes, he rejects Indra's invitation to heaven. So that's how you do it. Arishtanemi denies Indra's invitation to heaven. Just writing points so that you can, when you go back to this page after 30 days, you can understand if you have a flow. Then Indra says what? Ask Arishtanemi to talk to Valmiki. So Arishtanemi asks Valmiki a question. And what is the question? How to get out of the cycle of birth and death. So you can make this diagram there, birth and death, and you can show out. How to get out. Yeah. After that, Valmiki tells Arishtanemi. What does he tell him? The dialogue between Rama and Vasistha. Mohit has asked a question. Is this the same Valmiki that is supposed to be the author of Ramayana? Yes, Mohit. It is the same Valmiki. We are studying about Lord Rama only, and Yoga Vasistha is the dialogue between Lord Rama and Vasistha, sage Vasistha. Yes, it is the same Valmiki. Okay, so Valmiki tells Arishtanemi the dialogue between Rama and Vasistha. And what does he say? Now we are going to page 2. The story goes on to page 2.
He says, who is qualified to learn the scripture, that who is neither ignorant nor enlightened, who is in the middle.
Okay, that is the shloka. But what is the main crux of Valmiki's answer? What is he saying?
One who has felt that he is bound is the one who is eligible to get this knowledge.
Yes, and how does one come to know that? When he deliberates on the scriptures. This is the most important part here. Only somebody who really does a deep study of the scriptures, not treating it like a novel, but really treating it like study, deliberating on the scriptures. So highlight these important points in your text. Yeah, so Valmiki says you have to deliberate on the scriptures. That is the only way out of this cycle of birth and death. Deliberate on the scriptures will take you out of the cycle of birth and death. That's his answer. This sutra on page 2 is the most popular sutra of Yoga Vasistha. Aham baddho, I am bound. Vimuktaha syam, I want to be liberated. Iti yasya asti nishchaya, one who knows this firmly. Nishchaya, same word in Hindi. Yeah, definitely, firmly. Na atyantam agnyo. Neither is he totally ignorant, no tad nyayah. Neither is he enlightened, or has the highest knowledge. So he is somewhere in the middle. Asmin shastre adhikaravan. Asmin shastre. Shastre, it should be. Adhikaravan. What is adhikar? Hindi word adhikar. To have a right. Such a person has the right to the Shastras, to study the scripture. Who's not totally ignorant and is not enlightened. He's somewhere in the middle. So, question for you. Homework number 1. Are you enlightened or are you ignorant or are you in the middle? Do you have that thirst? I am bound. I want to be liberated. I want to be liberated. Yes. Somebody who has that thirst, he has the right to study this scripture. Yes. And then he goes on to saying that he had written the story about Rama. He says, I had composed the story of Rama earlier, which is Ramayana. Yes. And imparted it to Bharadwaja. So Valmiki told this story to Bharadwaja. And what did Bharadwaja go and do? He told who? Brahma, Lord Brahma. Yes. And what did Lord Brahma say to Bharadwaja? Wow, beautiful story. I will grant you a boon. Yeah. And what boon did Bharadwaja ask for? All humans should be freed of unhappiness. Yeah. So on second page, you can just write Valmiki told Bharadwaja and Bharadwaja told Brahma. Brahma granted a boon. And what did Brahma say when he granted that boon? Ask Valmiki to complete his narration. Yes? And that will help people cross the ocean of sorrow or go beyond sorrow. That is page 2. Page 1, page 2 done? Yeah. Now page 3. We look at the sutra. Brahmasya jagatasya asya jatasya akashvarnat. Brahma, you've heard this word before. Brahm is an illusion. Yeah. Jagatasya, Jagat is this world. This world is an illusion. Yeah. How? Just like Akasha Varnat. Akash is the sky and Varnat is the blueness, the color. Yeah. So just like the blueness of the sky is an illusion, so is this world. Apunaha smaranam manye. Yeah. Manye is the mind. Yeah. Don't let the mind do smaranam. We've done smaranam to think about. Yeah. So don't let the mind keep thinking about this world only, or don't just dwell on this world and the maya of this world. Yeah. Sadhu. Sadhu is a way of addressing a wise one. O sadhu. Yeah. Vismaranam varam. It is better to ignore it. Yeah, because he's saying that this world is an illusion. Yeah, don't give too much importance to illusions, but just ignore it. Yeah. Now, very beautifully, he has explained step by step.
Neither freedom from sorrow nor realization of one's real nature is possible as long as the conviction does not arise in one that the world appearance is unreal. And this conviction arises when one studies the scripture with diligence. It is then that one arrives at the firm conviction that the objective world is a confusion of the real with the unreal. If one does not thus study this scripture, true knowledge does not arise in him even in millions of years.
So, what is he saying here? What is the most important thing? Is diligent scriptural study. That's the most important thing. What does diligent scriptural study do? It makes you understand that the world appearance is unreal. Yeah, this understanding will not come unless you diligently study the scripture, not reading it as a novel, but really studying the scripture. That is what he's saying. Yes, if you don't study the scripture, even in a million years, you will not be able to reach the highest. Yeah, million years means many, many lifetimes of ours go past, right? So he's saying, Mahati Vinashyati. Yes, and I know Mitesh really smiled right now. Yeah, so he's telling you, most important is the diligent scriptural study. Yeah. It leads to a clarification that this world appearance is unreal. Now we go on to the next.
Moksha or liberation is the total abandonment of all vasana or mental conditioning without the least reserve. Mental conditioning is of two types, the pure and the impure. The impure is the cause of birth. Or the is one nature of nescience and ego sense. These are the seeds, as it were, for the tree of rebirth. On the other hand, when these seeds are abandoned, the mental conditioning that merely sustains the body is of a pure nature. Such mental conditioning exists even in those who have been liberated while living. It does not lead to rebirth as it is sustained only by past momentum and not by present motivation.
This has the entire gist of this page. The world appearance is unreal. Once this is clear to me, then what happens? I get freedom from Maya or sorrow, yeah, which is also called moksha. Yes, and what is the other thing that happens? Realization of the self. Are you understanding that these two things are separate? It must have started happening to you on this path, right? You have been listening to knowledge, you've been working on yourself. And take your mind back to 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago when you were not so much in knowledge. How you got angry in a particular situation. And today when you are in the same situation, so that change in you, yeah, that difference that you are experiencing, that is getting liberated or moksha. Step by step it might be happening to you. To somebody else it might be very quick at rocket speed. For somebody it is at bullock cart speed. But slowly, slowly you're getting moksha from this Maya that we are stuck in. Yeah, we get stuck in somebody we like, somebody we dislike. Somebody who should be like this, who should not be like this. Concepts, ideas. Yeah, these attachments of like or dislike creates problems and misery for me. Yeah, but I have seen, since I have moved higher in this knowledge, this has started reducing quite a lot. Yeah, so slowly and gradually you will obviously get there. That is getting moksha from dukkha. Are you understanding this? Do not imagine a place or time where there's not going to be any dukkha in life. I hope you're not imagining things like that. Yeah? Because dukkha is a part of this nature. The quality of nature is rajas, tamas, sattva. Right? So dukkha will come. It's like a season. It comes and it goes. Yeah? Happiness will come and it will go. Yeah? But when I get stuck in this, I don't have any moksha. The moment I rise above it and they stop bothering me so much, I have got moksha from them. Yeah, very cute story. I remember, I don't know if I've told you this before, when Ramakrishna Paramahansa was on his deathbed, he was in a lot of pain. There was old age or whatever. Lot of pain was there. And there was some kind of a disease also. So his closest disciple asked him, क्या दुख नहीं है? Literal translation, is there no dukkha for you right now? Dukkha is sorrow or sadness. He says, dukh hai, par ho nahi raha hai. There is dukkha, but it's not happening to me. Yeah? The Hindi is, the way it was said was more effective. Dukh hai, par ho nahi raha hai. That is the true meaning of moksha. Are you getting it? Being in this world, being amidst all joy and sorrow. When this joy and sorrow stop touching me, when I have raised myself above such a limit, I've become a cloud which cannot be touched, then I have achieved moksha, liberation. Do you understand this? When you achieve this kind of liberation, hand in hand, what happens is realization of the self, of the consciousness. Oh, I am that pure Brahman that is pervading everywhere, in that person, in her, in him. Yeah? It's everywhere. I am that Brahman. These are two different things. Clear? Did I clarify that? That's how these are two different things. Moksha and realization of the self. Clear? Yeah. Now, moksha means what? He's explained this a little more. Moksha means abandonment of all vasanas. Yes? Moksha, liberation, is the total abandonment of all vasanas. He calls it mental conditioning. What are vasanas? Cravings or feverishness leaves an impression in the mind. So, vasana is an impression. Yeah, it's not just cravings or feverishness. Even aversion is a vasana. Likes or dislikes. Want or I don't want. Yeah. This should be like this should not be like this. Yeah. All my interaction with every person in this world leaves an impression in the mind. Are you getting this? When does that impression really get very strong?
A strong impression would be about a person you hate, and a weak impression would be someone you passed at the door this morning.
Beautiful. So, in a nutshell, where I have an attachment. Yes? Attachment is not only love, is even hate. Is not only like, it is also dislike. It's not only want, I don't want is also an attachment. Clear? So when attachment leads to vasana. I'm thirsty, I pick up the bottle, I drink water and I put it down. Does this leave an impression? It does not leave an impression on me. Yeah? But I watch somebody driving in a Mercedes car. Yeah, and I get that feeling, oh, I also want a Mercedes car. I have to work towards it. Whatever it costs, 100,000, 200,000, I don't know the price, but whatever it costs, oh, I have to make that money. What has that done to me? Created an attachment. This has become a vasana. What is moksha? Abandonment of all vasanas is moksha. Do you get this? Yeah, when I can drop everything that I see, everything that I hear, yeah, everything that I smell, everything that I touch, yeah, when I'm not attached to any of these five senses, anything that I eat. Most of us are so attached to food. Right now your stomach is growling and your mind is dreaming about pizza or I don't know what. Yeah? So see where the attachment is. So homework number 2 for today. Make a list of your current vasanas. They keep changing. Have you noticed? Yeah, if you've done this homework during Ashtavakra, those vasanas were different. And today they are not there. Probably something else has come in its place. Yeah, so make a current list of vasanas. Yeah. So moksha is abandonment of all these vasanas. Then he has categorized it. Vasanas are of two kinds, pure and impure. So now somebody give me an example of a pure and somebody give me an example of an impure vasana. This session of jnana, this knowledge session also leaves an impression on my mind. Right? You are listening to this knowledge and you decide, okay, I have not been doing this right, or this, I will change these ways in me. I should do this, I should not do this. Understanding, growing. This also happens because of that vasana. Vasana is that impression. Are you getting it? Yeah. So this is a pure vasana in knowledge, in seva, in satsang. Yeah. All these things also leave an impression on the mind. Yeah? Understand, remove the meaning of vasana, the Hindi word vasana from your head. Yeah? That's not the correct meaning. Yeah? Try and understand the Sanskrit word, the way he has used it. Vasistha also calls it mental conditioning. Yeah? So a pure mental conditioning and an impure mental conditioning. So what will a pure one do? What does he say? Pure one liberates from birth. Just birth, he says. He does not say death. Why?
Because you are living and doing these vasanas, and liberation will mean that you are not going to be born again.
Correct. If you're not going to be born, it's automatically liberation from the death also. Yeah. So it liberates you from death, the pure one. What does impure do to you? It is the cause of birth. Give me an example. We've done this in the karma session. Yeah, the strongest impression in the mind, yeah, at the last moment of your life, that determines your next birth. We've spoken about this before. Yeah. Now mute yourself. Others cannot hear. Yeah. So the strongest impression in your mind will determine your next birth. That is why impure vasanas are the cause of birth. Yes. And the two main things he said that are seeds for this is ego and nescience. Nescience is nothing but Maya. Yeah. Being lost in Maya. These are the two seeds of all the impure vasanas in us. Clear? What pure does, what impure does is clear. Mental conditioning is of two types, the pure and the impure. The impure is the cause of birth. The pure liberates one from birth.
Aruna said doing things with moha is impure, reading scripture is pure.
Beautiful. Yeah, reading scriptures is a pure mental conditioning or vasana, and doing something with moha or attachment is an impure mental conditioning or vasana.
Chandana said that impure impression, for example, is strong love, hate for a person.
Chandan has said impure impression is strong love or hate for a person.
Rajiv has just said attachment to knowledge. I don't know if he's calling that as impure as or a pure thing.
Yeah, Rajiv, is attachment to knowledge pure impression or impure impression? What will attachment to knowledge do?
Ego.
I know it all. Yeah, what is the biggest disease on this path? I know. The moment this enters your life, oh, I know it all. Yeah, you will stop growing. completely you have torn your own application, you have dropped out of school yourself voluntarily. Yeah, you cannot progress. And the saddest part is that you don't even know. Yeah, it's so bad. That's the worst part of Maya. So beautiful point, Rajiv. Yes, too much getting in that ego of jnana, I know it, can also drown you. That is why Yoga Vasistha, he will say that even when you are in knowledge, Rama asks him, is there a situation that even when I am in knowledge, that I can go astray? And Vasistha says, yes. If you go out and play with coal, your hands will become dirty. You come back and you wash your hands. But if you again go out and play with coal, again your hands will get dirty, no? It's like that. Knowledge is required again and again and again. The moment you say, I know, you stop washing your hands. Do you see that? Then you're completely black. Yeah? That is an impure impression.
Black with dirt.
Yes. Clear? Yeah? Pure liberates you from birth. Impure is the cause of birth. And the seeds are ego and Maya. Clear? And he goes ahead to describe a little more on the pure. What does he say? On the other hand, when these seeds are abandoned, the mental conditioning that merely sustains the body is of a pure nature. So when ego and Maya, when you gain the ability to recognize, oh, this is my ego and this will create an impression in me, and this is Maya, this Maya has the ability of creating an impression in me. When you rise above these two, you have abandoned these two. Understand that. Yeah, just that knowledge, just that understanding, just that recognition. Oh, right now I am in ego. I have abandoned ego. I've seen this. Yeah. Oh, right now I can see I'm so attached to this thing. That moment, that attachment drops off. That's what exactly he's saying. The moment you abandon this, what remains is of a pure nature. It merely sustains the body. And he adds that it is even in a liberated one. Yeah, even in Guruji, there are certain impressions, certain vasanas that are required for his body to run. Yeah, for example, he wakes up every morning and he has all the energy to go out and do seva and get things done and get that started and this school started and give this new knowledge. Yeah, so Rajas has increased. Towards the end of the day, what happens? For Guruji also, Rajas decreases and Tamas increases. That is why he can rest and give that body its fuel. Yeah, he recharges that body in the night. So Rajas, Tamas, Sattva exists even in a liberated one, but it is of the purest form. Yes, it is of a pure nature. That is what he's saying. It does not lead to rebirth. Yeah, such mental conditioning exists even in those who have been liberated while living. It does not lead to rebirth, as it is sustained by past momentum and not by present motivation. That's what you write as your last sentence. This is very important to remember. Yeah, it is sustained by past momentum, not present motivation. Now explain this to me. What is past momentum?
Karma.
I have past karmas, na? Because of that river which is flowing. There is a past momentum in my life right now. It is going on. Yes. So whatever is happening, I let it happen. I don't jump into the river to go there and either obstruct it by no, this should not happen, or I'm not really craving for something. This should happen. Yeah, I'm just flowing with the river. This is past momentum and not present motivation. Present motivation is this only. I want this. I don't want this. I like this. I don't like this. This should be this way. This should not be this way. Yeah, he said this. She said that. This is present motivation. Clear?
Millie has said, talking about the earlier point, about why is it, between someone who's not enlightened and is not totally ignorant. Why is this knowledge relevant for that? Her question is that the same reason why the intro says that this scripture is not for the enlightened, because one who considers himself enlightened will think he knows.
Yes. Yeah. That is why I gave you the first homework, no? You see, are you qualified to listen to this scripture? Do you think you are enlightened? Or do you think you are ignorant? Or do you think you are somewhere in the middle? Yeah, you see. It is very important to understand that a person who has the humility to say, oh, I don't really know it. There is a lot out there which I want to know. I have that thirst. He is qualified to read this scripture or even listen to this. Any other questions, guys? I think I've done all 3 pages. It's clear? Absolutely? Okay. Now, there's a little bit of story which I will let you read. Yeah? So I'm going to give you homework now. Page 4 onwards is the story that Rama, I won't tell you the story, but where Rama goes out, he does something, and little bit of this, little bit of that, a little bit of fun with the demons. You read the story, yeah? You will read till page 20. Until page 20, it is very simple. It is just the story and Rama talking. There is not this kind of complicated jnana there. Yes? So you can read till page 20 on your own. 21 till page 21. Yes? Okay. So you will read 1 page per day. Yes? 1 page per day. You will not read more than 1 page per day. Read the page the way I told you. Write the Sanskrit Sutra on the top. Find the meaning on the page. Somewhere in the middle of the page you will see the English meaning. Write the meaning and then read the entire page and then make your own flow. Yeah, I call this a flow diagram. Whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So make your own flow diagram for each page. Study the scriptures, not read the scripture. Okay? It is not a novel. Is that clear? So we'll meet on 24th next. By 24th, you should have read up till page 21. Yeah, on page 22, Vasistha starts speaking. Yes, Vasistha does not start speaking before that. Can you open page 22? Yeah, then you'll see Vasistha. Before that, Vasistha does not start speaking. Yeah, so it is not complicated at all. It is either Rama talking or Vishwamitra talking. Yes, it is very simple. If you have questions, if you come across something, page 15, I don't understand this, you can send me an email. Yeah, I will respond with the answer to the entire group. But do not send me an email, explain the entire page 15. No. Yeah, you have graduated now, so you understand most of it. Just send me a question. Okay, this particular part I do not understand. Can you explain that particular part to me? Yes? Let me know any questions, any concerns.
Are moha and vasna perfect synonyms?
Moha is attachment Because of attachment, I create an impression in the mind, and that impression is vasana. Okay, somebody has asked, could you touch on realization? Realization is the same thing. Yeah, I told you, realization of the self, where you recognize that you are the consciousness. Yeah, the same thing that Ashtavakra says, that I am the deep blue ocean. These waves are just at the surface. Yeah, people come up in just in that consciousness like a wave. They fight with me, they play with me, they get angry, and then they go away. Yeah, the same thing. That realization happening, that understanding getting established in you, that is called realization of the self. It is different from rising above the Maya.
I have a question about about when we were talking about the pure and impure actions or vasanas. You mentioned that at the moment of recognizing that, okay, I'm on ego right now, that I just drop that potential vasana, or does it make it just less of a vasana?
In fact, just recognizing it, Daphne, makes you so strong that moment it drops off. Yeah, just
even if an emotion arises already.
Yes, absolutely. In ego, I must have said something already. I must have already committed a blunder or said, something, or hit somebody or whatever. In that ego feeling, I am greater, that person is less, whatever it could be. That event could have passed away. But that recognition, oh, I did this right now, and it was out of ego. You have already taken a step out. You have already stepped out of it. Yeah. We have done the 3 stages of Maya, you remember? What are the 3 stages of Maya? Long ago, remember the time when you were not in knowledge. Yeah. Where some people still are. That time, there was no recognition also that I am lost in Maya. Are you seeing this? There was no understanding that this is all Maya. We're just running, run after money, run after women, run after whatever, cars, run after jewelry, whatever. Think about, how people are crazily running. Life has become a running race. And they do not even recognize, oh, I am lost in Maya. This is the first stage of Maya. This is called bondage. Yeah, pure bondage. Second stage of Maya is what? Come on, you tell me. A recognition arises, yeah, from within. When we listen to this knowledge or when we come into this jnana, you start recognizing, oh my God, I'm so attached to this. Oh, I am so lost in this. Oh, I hate this thing so much. I was not even aware of these things, that these things are the cause of my misery. Yeah, recognizing my attachments, but still not being able to do too much. This is the second stage of Maya. Yeah. So the second stage is called attachments. First stage is bondage. Second stage is attachments or recognizing attachments. And what is the third stage of Maya? Where you all are. Yeah, we have recognized it thoroughly, and we are working towards getting above this Maya. Yeah, we want to cross this ocean of Maya, and we are working towards it diligently. Yes. Like we are doing a diligent scriptural study. This is the third stage of Maya. Yeah. So, when you are in this third stage, yeah, you recognize, which is a quality of the second stage, and the moment you recognize, you have this sincerity, I will not repeat it. Yes? And because of this knowledge, I have that strength. I become a dhiraha. Yeah? And I work towards whatever is required, automatically the ego drops off, the anger, the violent thoughts, whatever I said or did wrong, drops off. Yeah. So this is the quality of third stage. Yeah, I answered your question, Daphne. All good? Can I sign off now? Jai Gurudev.